Have you ever noticed that when you look good, you feel good? It seems that we're living in an age of casualness, and it's so interesting because so much of society is wanting to be casual in their behavior, casual in their manners, and casual in the way that they dress. But if you started to reflect on the times that you were feeling your best, we can often find that these were the moments that we were looking our best. So with saying all of that, I truly wonder why as a society, we are starting to look more frumpy, more disheveled, more like we've just rolled out of bed. Now look, I am not a psychologist. I can only speculate on why this may be, but what I can for certain tell you today is how I go about looking put together and polished and poised always, or at least I aim to. Tip number 1, you are never fully dressed without a great smile. Now hear me out. We like practical things around here. We like tangible things around here. So I'm not gonna make this very fluffy and just say, wear a smile. You'll look more polished and poised and always put together. But I do think it goes without saying that showing off your pearly whites and your great smile is always going to make you look a little bit more polished and a little bit more poised and a little bit more put together. But there are a few things that I like to consider when considering flashing one of my smiles. One of the things that I think about is how white are my teeth. Now we're not looking for a Hollywood smile, that might be a little bit too much, but we don't want to have yellow teeth, do we? There's tons of times where I get up bright and early in the morning and I have a coffee after I've brushed my teeth. And then as the day goes on, I'm looking at my smile more and more. Maybe I'm posting an Instagram story and I'm like, wow, Nicole, your teeth have gotten so yellow throughout the day. So these are things that you're gonna wanna take consideration of. The next thing that you're gonna wanna consider before you flash those pearly whites is, do you have anything stuck in your teeth? Now, for me, I had Invisalign and I've got retainers on the back of my teeth and it makes it really difficult to floss. And so one of the things I've invested in recently is a new water pick to help me get in between my teeth and make sure that my smile is looking flawless. Now, this might be like an elementary one, but maybe, just maybe, you need to up your game with your toothbrush. Maybe it's time for you to start using one of the fancy Oral-B toothbrushes. I have one and it literally is so strong that I'm like worried for my neck because it's vibrating that hard in my mouth. But maybe it's time for you to up your game from a manual toothbrush to a motorized one. Now, the last thing that I'm going to touch on when it comes to smiles is I want you to ask yourself, truly, honestly, are you smiling appropriately for the occasion? I just today was walking on the road to a client and I saw someone walking down the street just... And it was a bit deranged. It was a bit hysterical. And I think sometimes half the battle is understanding how to smile for the occasion. You don't want just a blank, placid, but you want some emotion behind the eye. And equally, you don't want to be smiling too hard when you are not in an appropriate circumstance. So we spent a lot of time just here on smiles, but it's a big one. Tip number 2, have your hair done in all situations and all circumstances. Now hold on, before you come at me in the comment section. This is what I want you to know. I'm not saying that you need to have your hair highlighted to the hills or you need to go to the salon for a weekly blowout. I'm not saying that. However, I do think that clean hair is a non-negotiable. And I don't just mean clean looking hair, I actually do mean clean hair. Because I don't know when it became like a marker or a trophy of survival of the fittest. Like, we as a society have become so lackadaisical that something as simple as washing our hair, like, we make this as a, wow girl, like, you won't believe it's been about 2 weeks. Like, it's like a bragging point at this point. It's wild to me. And here's the thing, if you want the quickest, easiest way for you to look flawless and put together always, have your hair done, have your hair washed. I'm not saying go to the salon all the time or have a hair color that is going to be so difficult to upkeep, and often those hair colors make you look worse in the long run because you've got roots every 6 weeks. But I'm talking about clean hair. Now think of someone like Kate Middleton, who has the most glorious, oh, I just got myself, Catherine Windsor? Mountbatten Windsor. I corrected myself, apologies. Now think of Catherine. Her hair is flawless, it's bouncy, it's full, it's voluminous, it's healthy, it's stunning. Now, take away her hair from her outfits, do you think she would look as put together, polished and poised always? I don't think she would. She's still a stunning woman. She still has stunning outfits, beautiful outfits, but I don't think she would look as put together. Do you? So if Catherine has to have that type of hair and has to look clean and we admire her, shouldn't we be aspiring to that as well? And here's the thing, you might not have as thick of hair as Catherine does. I know I don't, but even more so for my ladies who have fine hair like myself, a lot of this is extensions, we have to make sure that our hair is clean so much more than the average person. So please, if you're looking to be more elegant, look polished and poised, and more put together always, keep your hair clean, girl. Okay, tip number 3. I feel like some people are gonna get angry at this one, but like it or not, your manicure says so much about you. It is shocking to me that I can be in forums, other YouTube videos, etc., and the biggest debate is, what are elegant nails and what aren't elegant nails? Now, I'm going to tell you what I deem to be elegant nails. You can take it or leave it. However, my approach with elegance is something that should be appropriate for the occasion always. Some of you ladies with these long nails, how are you doing anything throughout your day? That is not appropriate for doing dishes. That is not appropriate for typing at the office. That is not appropriate for cooking. And so for me, that is what I get back to when it comes to nails, is that I want to have nails that are long-ish, a medium length, short to medium length, but nothing that could get trapped under the nails because that isn't even hygienic. Never mind, it's not appropriate because you can't do anything with it, and elegance is always going to be appropriate. Now, piggybacking on top of that, sometimes the color matters. And if you've been watching this channel any length of time, you know that I like sticking with more natural colors. You know, this isn't really a natural color, but it's not super artificial. Black cherry chutney, I do this every winter. And the key with, if you're gonna go with a color like this, is you can't let it go long where you've got chips everywhere and it's peeling off, and you can't go so long that you can see all of the regrowth. So your manicure actually does matter, especially if you're looking to look put together, polished and poised always. Okay, my friends, tip number 4. Accessories, they are the cherry on top of the sundae. They're not supposed to be competing with the rest of your outfit. We have to learn to use accessories in a appropriate way. I feel like appropriate is the theme of this video. Now, if you haven't heard that idiom before, you know, the cherry on top of the sundae, it basically means something that makes something perfect, or something that makes something that is already good even better or even perfect. Now, Coco Chanel, I feel like we all know this quote. She famously once said, before you leave the house, look at yourself in the mirror and take at least one thing off. This is such a great method of practice, especially when you're wanting to look put together and polished always. And you know why I love it even more? It is such a great practice when you're not wanting to look like a caricature or a cosplay character of a certain type of person. Think of it. There's many ladies on a level up journey, and the minute that they start wearing their Ralph Lauren polos and their pearl earrings and a beret, maybe a pair of finger gloves as well, and it's not that these things look bad, but it's just a bit too much all at once. You end up looking like you are dressing in a costume or having a little bit of fancy dress, but perhaps this is what they're going for. Okay, tip number 5 is to wear a purse or a handbag that is appropriate for the occasion. Now, my friends, I cannot tell you, when I look back on some of my photos before I was on a level up journey, I know I still haven't arrived yet, but do we ever really arrive? But when I look back on the photos from my level up journey, I look at one thing almost always, and that is, I used to buy designer handbags or like mid-range handbags, and that would be my handbag for every occasion. Going to the club, I've got my big work tote. Going to a fancy cocktail lounge, I've got a big work bag. No, a clutch or a small handbag, a wallet on chain would have been so much more appropriate for the occasion than that. So if you're looking to level up and look polished in almost every circumstance, the theme of this video is to wear something appropriate for the occasion. Without even thinking about it, you are literally portraying something that someone's eye doesn't even have to think about, and it looks amazing. Now, maybe you didn't get that point and you want a little bit more of a practical and tangible example, something that you can think about in your head and be like, wow, what does she mean by that? Oh, That's what she means by that. That Loewe bag. I don't even know if I'm saying that brand right, but so many people have that beautiful straw bag. But how many people do you see actually wearing that bag on the beach? It is a straw bag. And some of you might be thinking, wow, do these little etiquette tips and tricks matter that much? Well, in an actual fact, they kind of do, because to up another person's eye, they are tallying up these things and they don't even realize that subconsciously they're forming an opinion about you, one that you may not like, one that you may not want. And when you wear something that is appropriate for the occasion, it automatically packages you up and it puts you into this little package of something that is appropriate for the occasion, and someone will then look at you and say, wow, you look so appropriate and you always look so put together. It's like the whole classic example of when people wear a tennis outfit outside of the tennis court. It is not appropriate for the occasion and it just does not work. And it makes someone look like they are rushing in between appointments, because why are you wearing your tennis outfit in the street? I think I've gone off too long on this one. As you can see, it's something that tends to irk me, but I think you got the point now. If you haven't, there's going to be a corresponding blog post. It's linked in the caption for you down below. Okay, my friends, tip number 6 is the second last one, and we are going to talk about getting our colors done. Did you know that you can go see a personal stylist and you don't need to be a celebrity, you don't need to be a public figure, you can just be you. And you can go see a personal stylist and they are going to do your colors, where they put a different color palette against your chest here and they see which colors work best for you. You may have seen filters like this over on TikTok and you've tried to figure out what season you are, and you're just left with more questions than answers. This is why it's so important to go get your colors done with a professional personal stylist. Yes, it's going to take some investment, but you're actually going to end up saving money on the back end, because you are going to stop buying things that don't suit you. And then you'll save money. Now, wouldn't you like to work smarter and not harder? I know I would. And so this is one of the reasons why I like seeing professional personal stylists for certain things in my life, like getting my colors done or helping me style something for an event that I'm going to. Because if I can just wear a certain color that's gonna make me overall look better, that's gonna make me look more polished and poised and more put together always. So why wouldn't I? So the final tip is to understand the power and utilize the power of layering. Now, much like accessorizing, we're not going to want to wear too many layers because it will just be a little bit distracting, but we're going to want to learn how we can take certain items to layer with strategically that is going to add a little bit more visual detail to what we have on. Perhaps you're going to put a white collared button-up shirt underneath your Ralph Lauren crew neck polo. Perhaps you're going to wear a scarf, a nice tartan or plaid scarf around your neck, and it's going to jazz up your somewhat minimal, maybe traditional outfit. This is such an easy way to take your outfit from bland to chic. And I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, I would be so honored if you subscribed. I hope to see you in the next one.